So, usually when you're packing for a wilderness trip, it means tossing tangible things into a bag, right? Like a Swiss Army knife or waterproof matches. You either have them or you just don't.
Right, but surviving a high-stakes grade 12 English exam requires a totally different kind of survival gear because you aren't actually fighting the elements.
Yeah, you're navigating the examiner's traps, specifically the ones hidden in Unit 4 of your Get Involved textbook.
Exactly, the natural world unit.
Right. And since you've got this massive test coming up, today we're doing a deep dive to distill all that grammar into the exact linguistic tools you need to hit, a perfect Band 5 score.
And to get there, the first major trap examiner said involves how you describe the past. There's a massive difference in English between possessing a general skill and surviving a specific high-stakes event.
Oh, okay. So if I say, I could swim when I was 5, that's just my general superpower.
Right. And examiners love to see if you'll mistakenly use could for a one-time survival scenario. Like if you're talking about escaping a flash flood last Tuesday, using could is actually marked wrong.
Wait, really? Marked wrong completely?
Completely. You have to use was able to or managed to show you actually overcame a specific adversity on that given day.
Wow, that is a subtle trick. And I'm guessing they do something similar with obligations.
Oh, they absolutely do. So must is great for present rules, but it completely lacks a past tense form for obligation.
Ah, right.
Yeah, so if you needed to find higher ground yesterday, you have to shift entirely to had to.
Hold on, let's stick with the present for a second. Because if I'm trying to deduce a situation like, I'm certain a rescue helicopter is not coming, wouldn't the opposite of must just be mustn't?
See, that is probably the most common mistake students make. Can't is actually the logical opposite for deductions.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, you would say it can't be a helicopter because mustn't is strictly reserved for prohibition, like a hard rule, you mustn't light a fire.
Ah, okay, so can't means I logically deduce it's not happening, while mustn't means doing it is just a terrible idea.
Exactly the distinction they are looking for. And that brings us to an even bigger challenge. Once you know how to talk about actual survival, the exam pushes you to discuss the survival plans you failed to execute.
Man, that completely changes the stakes. We aren't just talking about facts anymore. We're talking about, alternate realities, ghost timelines.
That's a great way to put it. English forces you to layer a mood over a finished timeline to talk about things that never happened. And these are your perfect modals, like, I should have brought more water.
Pure regret right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Then you have could have and would have, which examiners test relentlessly to see if you know the nuanced difference.
To be honest, I've always thought could have and would have were, practically interchangeable in normal conversation. Don't they both just mean something didn't happen?
Well, they do, but the reason it didn't happen changes everything. So could have is a missed opportunity based on choice. I could have outrun the landslide, meaning, I had the speed, but I froze.
Got it. And would have.
Would have requires an external roadblock. I would have outrun the landslide, but a fallen tree trapped my leg. It's a conditional impossibility.
I see. The examiner isn't just checking your spelling, they're checking your underlying logic. So how does a student take these subtle distinctions and actually turn them into maximum points?
The secret is really in the think, prepare, write, and check stages of the exam rubric. Graders at that top band aren't just looking for isolated grammar perfection.
They want more than just the right verb.
Exactly. They demand that you seamlessly weave these precise modals together with specific Unit 4 thematic vocabulary. Words like tsunami, wildfire, or coral reef.
So writing something like, you mustn't light a campfire during a wildfire warning, proves you've mastered the grammar of prohibition and the thematic vocabulary all in one punch.
You nailed it. It shows strategic context. You're proving to the examiner that you haven't just memorized a formula. You know how to wield the language in a realistic scenario with almost zero errors.
You're pulling out the exact blade of your linguistic Swiss Army knife right when the avalanche hits. These modals are really your tools for deduction, regret, and laying down survival rules.
And mastering them is the difference between just surviving the exam and completely conquering it.
It really makes you think, though, if we spend so much of our advanced language building perfect modals, discussing alternate realities of what could or should have happened, how much of our understanding of history is actually shaped by the things that never happened at all?